huge opening number from Sideshow. This is being staged in the Parish Theater by the Kalamazoo Civic, opening on Friday. Here in the studio, I have director Jay Burkow and actors Allie Rupert and Alec Olwian, who are here to talk about their roles. And Jay, talk about casting this show.
Casting this show was a huge it's a huge challenge, because the stars of the show are these two women who are conjoined twin sisters who have to sing like crazy, dance, and really be profoundly honest and emotionally vulnerable in their acting, because these are real people who have real stories to tell. And my costume designer Kim kept coming to the callback, because she was like, Jay, I have to tell you, like, if the hips don't match, if they don't, when they're standing next to each other, if the hips don't line up, none of the costumes will work. And I was like, oh, good. Okay.
And they had to be the same height.
And there were about 6 women that I thought were really terrific that I called back for the two roles. And then I was just kind of mixing and matching. And to be honest, when Allie and Lindsay Powers stood together and sang together, I was like, well, there it is. There's the twins. They look pretty similar, and but more than that, they sound phenomenal together. Their voices just blend in a beautiful way. Perfect. And right from the beginning, they had a real kind of emotional connection. And now that the show is almost open, their emotional connection has gotten. I jokingly said, when we close, they're going to have separation anxiety. They've become very close, and they've spent. Well, Allie talked about their process and their rehearsals, but they spent a lot of time together. So that was challenging. Alec and I have worked together before at the Civic. He was in our production of Tommy there. So I knew Alec, and I was hoping, I can't remember, we got in touch with you before the show even auditioned, and said, you should come and audition for this. But then the other challenge of this show is really that it's a true ensemble show. I mean, it's definitely the sisters' story, but everyone in the show has a lot to do and really has to create some really interesting and dynamic characters who are very different from you or me. And so finding actors that are comfortable on stage, making choices, and then there's a lot of musical numbers. There's a lot of singing. It's almost sung through, and then there's some dancing. I did the choreography myself. There's a tap number. There's a big kind of Broadway jazz number. And then your two leading ladies, not only do they have to sing, but they have to dance while joined at the hip, literally. So that's tricky, too.
I have to admire how wonderfully lyrics and music works together in this opening 7, 8, 10-minute segment and gets all the stories laid out, or the whole...
Yeah, it sets up the whole world
in just
Sideshow.
10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's also still it's very in your face, and which I cannot wait to experience it with an audience on Friday, because the opening number just kind of comes right at you, and you are put in the world of the Sideshow very immediately, and then you kind of get the story of the sisters as it kind of blossoms out of that.
Well, let me say again, details on tickets and more are at kazoocivic.com, KAZOO civic.com. Well, my first question for you, Allie, is it Rupert or Rupert?
It's Rupert.
Rupert. I'm trying to split the difference.
Yeah, you're fine.
Do you have a sibling or siblings?
I have 2 twin brothers. They're younger than me. They're 4 years younger than me, but they are 6'3" now, so they're like my little older brothers, as I like to call them. But so I kind of can understand sibling relationship in that way. But I've never had a sister before. And so that was interesting to be with Lindsay, but it's really kind of crazy how quickly you really become like actual sisters, especially when you're spending every night literally stuck together with each other. And we've spent time out of rehearsal. We have spent the weekend together, and we've tried being stuck together at home. And like, it's just really amazing how close you can be with someone, especially during a show.
Also, sharing a musical language can also connect people beyond just conversations in a big way.
Yeah, it's really crazy. We don't even really have to like talk about how we're feeling every night. We just go on stage, and you can kind of just feel it by each other, because we're always holding hands, and so like we'll give each other like an extra squeeze on the hand if we need like a little help here and there, and like just getting through all these emotional songs where we really have to kind of just not worry about what people are thinking. We just have to lay it all out there. Doing that together, it's just like it's crazy. It's something I've never experienced before.
Did you discover this show on your own before this show was announced for the season, or is it new to you as well?
I only heard about it at the Civic announcement because I got asked to sing Who Will Love Me As I Am at the announcement there. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a cool song. I like singing it. Like, this is a fun show. I'll audition. And then I found out Jay was doing it, and I was like, okay, well, I have to audition now. And, like, I just really wanted to be in it, but I really didn't know, like, the story or the background. And then so when I did get cast, I, like, cried and was so happy. And, like, then once we, like, got into the story of it and I actually did a bunch of research on the twins, then it was like, this is one of the best things I've ever heard of in my life. Like, it's crazy.
So you did get really interested in your character and her real existence.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much to learn about. Like, I'm still learning things.
So which twin do you play?
I play Violet Hilton.
And the other twin is named?
Daisy Hilton.
Violet and Daisy. And personality-wise, what's she like?
Violet is a little bit more on the shyer side, I guess. She's a little bit more delicate, I would say, than compared to Daisy. Daisy's very bold and courageous and wants fame and wants to be up in the lights and everything. And Violet just kind of wants to find love and have a family and just kind of be normal. And both of them want to be normal, I guess, in society, but Daisy just wants to get there a different way than Violet, I guess.
So there have been famous conjoined twins like throughout history, and some of them I think did marry different people and have families and all of that. So maybe it wasn't that crazy for Violet to think that was possible.
Yeah.
And every musical kind of needs a love story,
right?
Is that
we have several?
You have several. What are some of the other ways you interact with the cast, and who are the other characters?
Well, we have a protector of the Sideshow who, his name is Jake, and that's played by Troy. And he plays the Cannibal King in the Sideshow, but then outside he kind of is just the protector of Violet and Daisy. And it actually turns out that Jake is actually in love with Violet and has been for a long time. And that kind of throws a wrench in problems because when Terry and Buddy, who are the two men that bring Violet and Daisy out of the Sideshow, they come in and they discover the girls. And Terry starts to fall for Daisy, and Violet starts to fall for Buddy, and we have this, like, love rectangle thing going on. It just becomes very complicated because everyone now we're just laying all our feelings on the line, but we're in this weird situation where we're connected. And so you can't have just a normal relationship, I guess. It's always going to be something that you have to overcome.
Well, in every love story, there has to be a barrier.
Yeah,
that keeps
we have
people
a
apart.
literal barrier.
So finally, I do want to hear a little about where you grew up and your interest in theater as a young person and how that developed.
Okay, well, I'm from South Haven, Michigan, so it's only like 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
I grew up there all my life, and I've kind of just, my mom is a singer, and so I've kind of just been singing since I was little, and I found theater in high school and really liked it, and people told me I could sing, so I was like, sounds good. I was like, I'll do it. I really liked it. Yeah.
Something I get praised for.
And I'd known Western because a lot of the MTP students came to South Haven and, like, sang with me at different places, so I was like, oh, cool, I'll go to Western. So I found Western, and I auditioned for Western and got accepted there, and now I've just been doing it here, and I've been working a lot with the Civic. For the last 2 years, I've been doing a lot of shows there, so it's been amazing. I love it.
So right now, is it most important to you to just keep getting cast and being in as many things as you can?
Yeah, I just love being in shows, and any chance that I can. I'm just always wanting to be in something.
When do you graduate?
2020.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, it's only 2017. You are a freshman?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to talk to Alec Holian, who was sitting right next to you, and feel free to jump back in, but
sure.
Alec, you play Buddy in the show.
Buddy Foster.
Oh, let's talk about your character.
Buddy is kind of an odd mix of confident but self-conscious. He, at least the way I view him, he is kind of Terry's right-hand man. Terry goes to him. Terry is like the agent who kind of finds the girls in the sideshow at the very beginning, or in the freak show. And Buddy comes with him. Terry tries selling Buddy on the idea of the girls, and Buddy is kind of the first person he needs to convince to actually make this idea he has work. And
so your business is to find acts for the show, for the sideshows?
Yeah, essentially. That's more so, at least the way I've been looking at it in rehearsals and things. That's kind of Terry's responsibility, and it is Terry puts the responsibility of making them into an act on Buddy's shoulders.
Oh, okay.
But Buddy is he's a performer, just like the girls, and that's really a large part of who he is. That's what he really wants, is to perform and to get a shot at that. Throughout the show, a bunch of things, obviously, that goes along with any show. A bunch of things get in the way, and a bunch of things just make it more and more difficult for him to really make his big break. But the show, especially starting towards like the end of Act 1, it really starts through Buddy's eyes. It really seems like it's really starting to take off, and he's very. It's so hard to explain. I have it all in my head. He's a very. It's like he's a shy extrovert almost.
Do you have a big, is it an I want number? Like you...
kind of. He doesn't. He has I have a big number in Act 2 called 1+1, which I believe we're going to listen to a bit later. But he doesn't have an 11 o'clock number or anything. Yeah, that's true.
A lot of the music in the show, there's songs, but there's also a lot of recit music in the show that shows the character. So Buddy actually has two musical scenes where he reveals a lot of what's going on. Wait, I don't want to give any big spoiler alerts. There's a major plot twist that has to do with Buddy and Buddy and Violet's relationship that I don't want to give away.
Okay, we'll stop there. I will say once again, tickets are available at kazoocivic.com or 343-1313, area code 269. The number we're going to hear next, and I think we should because I've given you both a pretty good grilling, is called Ready to Play. I'd like to hear that, and then I'll learn a little more about Alex's background after that.
And this number is when Daisy and Violet are at their peak of their vaudeville fame. So this is their big, this is when they are stars in vaudeville.